My name's James and I'm a shipwreck treasure hunter. Join me in my quest above
Holy shit!
and below the waves, in search of the thousands of undiscovered and ancient shipwrecks that lay off the South Devon coastline. In today's video, we're heading to the remains of an 11th century harbour that's situated right next to the busy town of Torquay, which sadly the majority of people are completely unaware that it even exists. What treasures will we find at the remains of this once prominent harbour that for centuries was a crucial landing place for trade with strong ties to Totnes and Plymouth? Now unfortunately, after picking up a steering issue on the journey back from filming the last video, we're going to have to leave my beloved boat behind and do this the old-fashioned way.
Bluetooth mode. Connected.
Right, well we've made it down to the beach. We've got a really big tide today, which you can see behind me has exposed all this area, which is fantastic. But the only trouble when you have a big tide is it moves really fast. So once it starts to turn and come back in again, it's not going to be long until this whole area is flooded back out again. Well, we've just had our first signal of the trip, a really clear 70. Oh yeah, let's dig it up. Ah, bloody foil can. Not the medieval treasure we're after. This is such a cool place. Every now and then you come across these rocks that have clearly been worked. Look at that, look at the right angle on that. How incredible. Well, we've just picked up a signal right at what would have been the entrance to the old harbour. Now this is perfect because we're in such a big town here that's probably seen 1,000 people with metal detectors on the beach. I really want to try and get away into the areas that have hopefully never been detected before, away from where every Tom, Dick and Harry has been. I can feel the culprit. God damn it. Indian Pale Ale. Not the one. No wonder it's a clear signal though. Well, something we need to be really careful of is not falling right over. What? Because although my metal detectors are waterproof, my DJI mic isn't, and I've already ruined one of these by falling off a cliff down into the water, and I really don't want to break the last one that I've got. Well, we're right out in what would have been the basin of the harbour. It's quite rocky on the bottom still, but there's patches of sand where I've picked up this signal. So let's get this thing out. Oh, no way, there it is. Looks like a piece of old lead pipe of some sort. Awesome. At least it wasn't a can. But I've just picked up a signal on this patch of sand down here that's in the 80s and 90s, so yeah, let's check this thing out. Ooh, nice soft digging, baby. Woo! Down here somewhere. It might be something big. Oh, we've got a bit of black coming up. That's always a good sign. Come on. I think I might be underneath it, whatever it is. I don't want to break it. This is something cool. Right, hang on. We're going to have to balance some more of this stuff. It feels like something quite big. The trouble with this place, it's just boulders upon boulders, all wedged together. My hands haven't quite recovered from the last one yet. Oh, could you imagine it was an old sword? Dreams come true. Well, whatever it is massive, and I've just spotted it goes right under this rock here. If I can pick that up on the camera. You see it in there? Right underneath. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out, to be honest, but I'll try. Oh, it's moving. Come on. Holy moly, what is this? Woo! Man, that was hard to get out. This, whatever it is, has been here for a long time and it's really concreted in. You can see by the way some of this metal is delaminating. It's got an angle on it. This looks really interesting. What I'm going to do, guys, is this is going to be way too big to bring home my backpack like this. I'm just going to quickly break off some of this concretion now. Awesome. Can't believe we got that out. Wow, look at that. I'm really not sure what this is. Maybe possibly like some strapping from a ship. It's definitely got for some reinforcement with the holes. I'm not really sure what material this is either because it's quite shiny. We'll have to take a much closer look at this in my workshop at the end of the video. That is awesome. Well, look, that one's nice and easy. Fishing lure, pretty one as well. I'll have that. Right, well, when it's low tide, I've just had a little wander around because there's a tiny little cove here that I think will be really worth checking out as it's in such close proximity to all this history. And behind me is the Hindu temple caves of Torquay, which are incredible. They are actually named by a Victorian author, Charles Kingsley, due to their resemblance to the Hindu temples in India. Just fascinating. Wow, check this place out. I've got a good feeling about it here. Let's go and have a look. Right, well, I've had a hit literally right under these rocks. It's reading a 76, so let's see if we can get this bugger out before a giant rock falls on my head. Oh, it seems like that's what it is. Let's have a look. I can see it. Huh. I can see something in that concretion. See if I can break it out quickly. 1 second, without chopping my fingers off. I mean, it's whatever it is, obviously been down there a while to be concreted that much. Let's see if I can get the cut clean off. Well, it looks like it's a little copper plaque of some sort, and I think it says Gassenland. I'm not too sure, but like I said, we'll always take a closer look at everything at my workshop at the end of the video. Nice. No way, it's a coin, an old 20p. Awesome, and it still says there's something down there as well. Let's check it out. Holy crap, guys. Oh my goodness, look at that thing. It looks like copper, and no, it's got some detail on here as well. That's incredible. What on earth is that? And it looks like it's come off of something else. No way. Well, guys, when I dug this item up, I was completely unaware that this could have been over 2,000 years old, originating from the Bronze Age. That is bloody awesome. I'll definitely have a much closer look at this later on in my workshop. Fantastic. It's still saying there's something down there as well. I can't believe that come out of the same hole as a 20p. I was not expecting that. Huh, no way. Look at that. Looks like an old key. No, that is brilliant. What like a treasure trove of a little hole this is. There are more hits down here. Well guys, that's what it was, and I think that actually might be a very small nugget of tin. Awesome. Right, well I've just picked up a few more signals right at the back of this cave. I really don't want to get stuck in here because the tide is coming up, but let's see if we can get whatever these are out. Oh, I'm absolutely buzzing. Aha, here we go. I'll get you in a bit closer and a bit straighter. There we go. Here we go. Nice clear signal as well. Whatever it is right here somewhere. Aha, I can see it. Whatever it is. It's quite big. What on earth is that? Where's my shovel? Right, might have to try and move this big boulder out of the way. Leave the you. There we go. Daddy's coming! Hey, where did it go? There it is. It's massive, whatever it is. I know I joke around in the past, but I really hope this isn't an unexploded bomb, because we do get them around here. Here, it's come loose now. No way, what on earth is that? Look at that. No wonder it had a good signal. I'm not sure what that is, but we'll take it back with us and give it a bit of a clean up. Another signal down in here. I really am going to have to leave this bit in a minute though, before I get trapped. Oh god, not my detector! Oh. Oh well, just an old, is that a crab hook, I think? Cool. I've had a nice signal down here, and I think I can see it. No way, it's a coin. I think it's just an old 2p, but always nice to find a coin. Lovely. Completely, just half it left. Wow, check this out what I've just spotted. This old wine glass, and it is really in there. This thing has been being eaten and reclaimed by the sea. Look at it. It actually looks like there's a really old bit of pottery in there as well. Let me see if I can get that out. That looks really cool. It's coming loose. Well, there it is. Look, this old piece of pottery of some sort. Now this thing could be ancient. Unfortunately, doesn't look like there's anything written on it, but really cool. Well, signal down here, and I think I can actually see the rust. Oh, look at that. I'm really not sure what this is. Maybe more modern, but a cool find nonetheless. Looks like it's got a bit of detail in here. Awesome, we'll bring that back with us. Right, well I've made it back to my workshop. As always, I've got everything that we found laid out on the bench behind me. I really enjoyed checking out this location. It's so full of history, but it definitely came with its challenges. And I would probably say it's the most hard video that I've ever had to film. Mostly because it's so close to a busy town centre. There was so much junk at this location. I dug out so many cans and bottle lids and ring pulls. It was just endless, and some of this stuff takes ages to dig up as well. And secondly was the tide times for this week. For those of you who don't know, the tides shift roughly by about 45 minutes forwards every day, so that can sometimes put these tides at really awkward times. So I think this week when I wanted to go, it was either, you know, at 5 p.m. dinner time or 5 a.m. in the morning with the two low tides of the day, which was absolutely, you know, really, my wife wasn't best pleased with me when I said that I wanted to go out, you know, treasure hunt at dinner time. So I ended up going to this location 3 times just to find some, you know, interesting bits to show you guys, which was one at dinner time in the afternoon, and then I went twice really early in the morning, and I must have spent at least 6 hours there each time. So yeah, it just goes to show you the challenges that have come from this video. But anyway, let's not mess around and let's have a look at what we got. Well, this is everything that we found, and we got quite the haul today. I spent a lot of time digging all this stuff up. But we had this fantastic item, which honestly I am so excited to tell you guys about it in the moment. But we also had these not so interesting ones like these iron pipes. But we did have this long piece of metal, which I was hoping was a sword in the video. But unfortunately, I think this is actually, you can see there's some holes in it and it's got like a curvature to it. I think this is probably some sort of reinforcement to an old ship or an old boat. And you can really see the way this metal is delaminating. It's got a good bit of age to it. So definitely a really interesting find. And then we had this brass plate here. I think it's some sort of machinery maker's plate, but this is actually really interesting. It's from Fürstenwald in Brandenburg, Germany. I hope I haven't messed up the pronunciation of that, but it says Gaslan, and it's actually got a date on it as well of 1984. So this thing is like a year older than me, and goodness knows how it got there and how long it's been down there. But we actually have a couple of subscribers from Brandenburg, so maybe you guys know more about this than I do. But yeah, let me know in the comments. And then we had these pieces of lead. Now I always love finding lead. It's really interesting, what these could have been. But we had this bit of crushed pipe that was squashed at either end, and then this piece, I'm pretty sure they used to use these to patch up old holes in boats and ships. And you can even see the nail holes where, a ship would start taking on water, so they'd patch it up with some lead and then make it watertight again, which is really fascinating. We also had some coins, like some 2p's, and some old cutlery and a key, and little bits of tin as well, like little nuggets of tin. And this is the sort of thing they would have mixed together with copper, to make bronze and things like that. So really cool. And these, could be really old. We had these couple of tools as well, which I think these are just like crab hooks for when you go crabbing or lobstering in the rock pools. You can just hook them out from behind. But I might be wrong. They could be some sort of like fishing net repair tools or something like that. I'm really not too sure. As always, if there's anything that you see here that you know what it is, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section below, as well as anything that you enjoyed or didn't enjoy about this video that you think could be improved upon. Honestly, hearing you guys' feedback and talking to everybody in the comment section after these videos come out is just generally a massive highlight to me, and it's probably one of my favourite parts of doing these videos is chatting to everybody afterwards. So thank you so much for that. A couple people mentioned in the comment section as well that you'd like the videos to be a bit longer. I'm always a bit concerned that people might get put off by the longer viewing times, but let me know in the comment section as well if it's something you'd like to see a bit more of, like the journeys and not so interesting stuff, I guess, that I pick out of the hours of filming that I do. So let me know. I'd really appreciate that. Well, as you saw in the video, I found this 20p, and then out of the same hole, and I really wasn't expecting it, I pulled out this fantastic item. And when I got home, I sent the pictures off to a few local specialists, and some of them got really excited and said that I need to, get in contact with the museum to get this thing checked out. And what they're thinking, and it's not 100% sure, but there's definitely a chance, as they think this could be a Bronze Age artifact, and it would have been a staff head, and this is actually what you call a sun wheel. And if you can see in the middle, there's some detail in a picture, and this is actually like a primitive face of a god, I think the god Baal, and this thing would have been mounted on a staff for like shaman or religious holy people of the time. And this was a god who was worshipped from like the Bronze Age all the way up till the medieval period. So what an absolutely fascinating piece. And you can see this thing's made out of copper, where it's been worn more on one side, where it's been face down and kind of worn by the waves on this side. You can really see how uneven this thing's been crafted, quite primitively. Which is just awesome. This could be, without doubt, the oldest find we've ever had. But the museum, it does take a while with this process. Once they get their hands on it, for them to date it properly and get back to me with any information, it can be, quite a long and laborious process. But what I'll do is, in any future videos, when I get back the information, I'll let you know how it gets on. But what an absolutely stunning piece, and I am over the moon with it. And then we had this huge pipe. I'm pretty sure this is like an old guttering pipe, maybe like Victorian era, but it's quite interesting, the shape of the top. It almost looks like it's been exploded. So maybe from the war days, I'm really not sure, but definitely an interesting find, although I'm not sure if it was worth locking all that weight back in my backpack. That's about it for this video. We have just hit the milestone of 4,000 subscribers, which honestly, I cannot tell you how grateful I am. It blows my mind that 4,000 people have enjoyed the videos enough, you know, to hit that subscribe button is absolutely incredible. And I just want to thank everybody who's liked and subscribed and shown support for the channel. It really does mean the world to me. And to be able to do something that I love so much and share it with you guys really is a dream come true for me. So thank you so much for that. As also, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And definitely don't forget to switch that notification bell on so you don't miss out on any future content we've got coming. And you can also check out some of our other videos that should be popping up on the screen now. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers!